Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut Craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. Today we're going to talk about how to engrave metal using your Cricut Explore. Now I have an Explore Air 2, but this could be done with any of the Explore machines. But you will want to make sure that your machine is over a year old because this does void your warranty with Cricut. But I have used this tool several times and have had zero issues with it. And it is just this little metal tool, and this is by Chromis. And it is on Amazon. It's about $30, but that price can change, so keep that in mind. I will link this tool below. I have used it a ton, and it's fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with it, and it's easy to use. And today I'm going to show you guys how to do these little cards. And these are metal. They are really cool, and these are really fun. So if you wanted to make like business cards or something, these would be super memorable business cards, and you could do these really inexpensively, and you can do them as like little pictures. So there's a lot that you can do with these. They're really fun. And then I'm definitely going to do a video where I show you guys how to make your own bracelets with the Explore, and that will be coming soon. So let's go over to Design Space so I can show you how to set up this so that it engraves properly. The first thing that you need to do over in Design Space is to make a little template so that you can make sure your designs fit into your little card. So we'll just open up a square, and we need to unlock it. And we know that our square is about 3.25 inches wide, and it's about 2 inches tall. It's a little bit more than 2 inches, but this is just a template so we can see what it looks like. I'm going to change the color just so we can see it better. And then I'm going to duplicate it because we're going to use 2 of them. So you can just make 2. First thing I'm going to show you is a quick image. So what we can do is search the word draw, and it's going to bring up a bunch of different like single line images, which are really fun to work with. You see the A, if you are a access member, it will not charge you for them. If you are not an access member, these ones cost 99 cents. Let's use the little koala. So we'll insert him. And the first thing that we'll do is size him down so that he fits into our card. That looks pretty good. So you can get rid of this one. You don't need it. And then what we'll do, we'll make like a business card. So I'm just going to make one using my name, and I'll show you guys a quick tip. It's using a font I had selected before. So I will show you guys real quick how to pick a cool font for this, because if you use anything that is really thick and heavy, it's gonna cut it as bubble letters or engrave it as bubble letters, because you want to keep this set to cut. So let me go ahead and change this back to cut, and you want to choose a pretty thin font. So what you can do is you can still filter it down to writing fonts and use one of these because it's going to be a nice thin font for it to cut. I'm using the Blockhead font, and I'm just going to continue to use that because it's an easy font to read. If you choose something it might be a little tough to read, like something like this isn't too bad, but as you size it down, it's going to be a little bit harder to see. So you want to choose something that's really easy to read, really easy to see, easy to work with. And you can see how large our letter or our line spacing is. So we're going to space that down right here using line spacing. And the line spacing is just kind of basically the same idea as letter spacing, where you just click the little down arrow, or you could hand type in a negative number if you want to, but we'll just use the little down arrow. And I will size this down to fit on our card after I kind of get the lines a little closer, because obviously our card doesn't leave us a lot of room to work with. So there is that. So we're just going to size this way down. Oops. And we're going to grab it, and I'm going to fit it into our card. Now you want to leave a little bit of space at the top and the bottom because you will have to put some painter's tape on here. You could probably line space this back out a little bit if you want to, because you do have a little bit of space to work with, because we're going to put the painter's tape on the top and the bottom. So that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this one. So just make sure both items are set to cut. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that these say cut, and change this one to cut. That is an important step because if you leave them as draw, you can't load your tool in the right place. So let's click on make it. And I'm going to show you guys, oh, for some reason it is wanting to print them. Well, that's annoying. I missed the fill. So if you ever have that happen, if it's going to give you that block around it like mine did, click on your item and see where it says fill and it says print. Just change that to no fill. Oh, well, that's a new fun-fangled thing that it did. Well, all right. Let's just, well, okay. Apparently, it's just going to not work at all today. This one will still work, and so will this one because of where your cut lines are, but it's very strange. I'm going to resize that up a little bit. That is really odd. It will still cut correctly because it's just going to cut around the black spaces, but it's very strange. Whoops, and I meant to hit undo. That is very weird. I wonder why it did that. This will still work too because, again, it's just going to cut around. You're just not going to get the definition in the ears. So that's kind of annoying. But that is Design Space for you. But you can also use like a single line design. So let me show you one really quick. So I have a couple single line designs. Like this one is single line. I have this cactus, which let's use him instead because I know he'll work. He'll work fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy because this cactus worked just fine. Let's change him to, he's going to be cut, no fill, and we'll size him way down and we'll put him sideways. And that way he will fit. So we'll just do it a little bit different than I was planning on, but it's totally fine. No big deal. Sometimes you just got to kind of rework your plan. Absolutely fine. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we will just move on with our lives. I don't know why it decided to do that. Now this is a little bit hard to see on the black. So what you can do is change the color of your designs so that it's easier to see where you're placing them on the mat. So I'm just going to use like a bright purple because when you go to make it and on the black screen, it's super hard to line stuff up. So I like to use a bright color. Now this thing's been a little bit touchy today as far as like grabbing stuff. Like you can see, it's not wanting me to grab some things. But our cactus turned, which is really annoying, so we'll have to return it. And then I lined my piece up with about the 1 line. So we're just going to kind of put it right about there-ish. And then this one we'll do right about the 5. And when I show you guys how to load the mat, you will see where we loaded these, so it'll work really, really well. So that looks pretty good. So we're going to click on continue and it's going to, I have on my machine set to the Cardstock Plus. I'm going to show you guys how to load the mats and how it's going to engrave them. So we're ready to put our cards on the mat and I'm going to line mine up right here with the 1 grid. So we're going to use the 1 line and you just want to make sure it's relatively straight on there. And don't worry, it's going to probably move just a little bit, but you can slide it with your fingers. So it's really easy. It doesn't super stick to the mat, which is why we need the painter's tape. But you want to make sure that you do have this straight, and I am struggling with this. I'm doing it from the side because I've got you guys face on with it. But we're going to go ahead and line that up. So then you're going to take your painter's tape, and you want to do a pretty decent size piece because you want to cover from top to bottom. So I'm just going to put a piece of painter's tape right here, and then you're going to put one on the other side. That's partially why I put it more towards the middle of the mat and less onto the edge because it's easier. My painter's tape's pretty wide. So then our next card, because we'll do both of them at once, and these cards I just got them from Amazon and I will link them below. They're really thin metal, but they're really cool. Like these would make really cool business cards. And I'm not usually a person that says make business cards on the Cricut because I think it's too expensive. But if you wanted something super unique, these would be the way to go. They're really cool. So remember, I said this one we're going to tape at the top and the bottom versus the sides because of where our writing is going. And you can see I'm not covering a lot of the card, just a little bit, just enough to hold it down. But I am making sure to cover the whole way across of the card. So we got to make sure we cover that. So let's go over to the machine. So over in your Explore machine, you have your blade in the B clamp. Go ahead and open B and remove your blade. And then you're going to replace it with the Chromis tip. This will void your warranty, so please, I beg of you, if your warranty is still good, don't do this. But if you're out of warranty, not really going to be the end of the world. So we'll go ahead and load our mat, and then we'll go back to the machine and I will choose the setting. We're going to go ahead and hit the go button so that it can start to engrave. So once your machine is finished engraving, all you need to do is pull off your painter's tape. You will want to do this carefully because, like I said, these sheets are not super thick, so you'll just want to be careful and to hold them down because you don't want to bend them. So normally I would just pull up my product, and instead this time I'm going to definitely just pull up the painter's tape because I don't want to bend the metal. So we'll do that first. I did not fully unload my mat. I will get this one once I unload my mat. And again, just be careful because they will bend if you are not. But these are such neat ideas. They come in a bunch of different colors and they're just really fun. I love that the Explorer can engrave these, and hopefully you guys can see, but I got this one a little off-centered. But look at that, it's pretty cool. I could do definitely a better job of centering that one, but wait till you see how cute the little cactus came out. Isn't that neat? And these are just really thin metal sheets. You can see, and it looks great on the other side. So another cool thing that you could do is you could actually do a business card like this and then engrave the other side with a design. You wouldn't have to do two different ones, just flip it over. And you could have a really neat double-sided business card with these because it doesn't press through the back. You can see the back is fully smooth, so you are able to do it on both sides. I just think this is a fun thing that you guys can do with your Explorer. You just need to have the Chromis tool, which I will link below from Amazon, and just again, keep in mind that it does void your Cricut warranty, so be sure that your machine is out of warranty before doing these. I hope you guys had fun learning how to engrave metal with your Cricut Explore. It is so easy and so fun, and you can be really creative with these, and you can use them for lots and lots of different things. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I am always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Hit the bell icon. That will let you know when I post a new video. Have a great day and happy crafting.